new stars that I know all about. I admire your courage and your willingness to speak. We are hitting a season in Canada that I've never ever thought would be here, and it's the silencing of free speech. And I never cared much. I was young and I was Mary Poppins till I met Carrie a few months ago, and I just wanted to do and live. Can I sit down, because it feels funny to stand? I'll just share a few things with you and then I'll be done. But when we realized, when I started speaking against gender fluid ideology, and I realized that I was getting a lot of bad names thrown at me, and it was really hard. And then because I'm on a national platform and I have 2 TV shows, when the media says things, like, you know, it's right out there and it's embarrassing, and you have to kind of take the heat. And then I had to decide inside my heart if I was going to be somebody who would stand and speak, or if I would cave in and I would just be silent. Because here's the thing about Canada. So I grew up here ever since I was 12 years old, and we're a very silent bunch, and we're very politically correct, and we're very kind, and we don't want to bring up religion or politics at our family meals or with our friends, because then someone might be mad. So I had to come to the place where I said, well, what if someone's mad? What if they're so mad that they don't speak to me anymore? What if they're so mad that they call me all kinds of, you know, hater? I've been called Hitler, trailer trash. That was really painful. And then there's a homophobe or transphobe or all of these things. When I start standing up, like, what if I have to take those hits and I still just have to be strong and go, I'm still gonna speak. I might be right and I might be wrong, but I'm going to stand up and speak. And so that was my decision that I had to make about 8 months ago. And I had to decide whether it was something I wanted to do, or if I just wanted to be one of the regular people that never says anything. And so something has risen up inside of my heart where I said I want to be I just want to live that authentic life, I think, like Jordan Peterson was talking about. And here's the thing about what he's saying. Like, you become unstoppable. He kept saying that word. Did you hear it a few times when he said unstoppable? That's my word. I just was at a conference where they did the word unstoppable, because I had done a little speaking clip where I said, if you get the fire inside of your belly, you will become unstoppable. Here's what I know, is you all get to live a life that can be absolutely amazing, or you get to just live a life where you participated at the standard status quo of everyone else, and you'll never stand out, and you're never willing to stand for something greater. In our nation, it is starting to be the shutdown of free speech. That is just happening, and that's why Jordan Peterson has been in so much trouble. He's had his job threatened and all of that kind of stuff. So in my life, I had to make those decisions, but I didn't have to make them until I was a lot older. In your lives, you guys each get to think about who you want to be, what you actually think. Have any of you, and you don't have to put up your hand, but have you ever really thought something, but you were in a crowd where everyone else was kind of holding to one sort of position, but in your heart, you did not agree, but you didn't choose to say so, because the crowd would be against you. So there are some people in our nation, and it was really cool when I showed up at the school and Ethan and Josh decided that they would talk to me on camera, and they would talk about how they just didn't want to go to a class because they're not bullies. And that's a fair statement, right? Like, who should be mad about that? It's a fair statement. And so we just had this little talk, and then I put it up. That's over, like, combined with the video that I shot and the Facebook Live, that's over 80,000 views. So 80,000 people on this planet have watched you speak, Ethan, and just a little tiny thing. And then I think you got to see some of the backlash and what I experienced when they make fun of me, right? And they put that, somebody took, is it louder with Crowder? Was that the?
Yeah.
It was Dirksen. Dirksen.
Yeah.
No, it was Louder with Crowder.
Was it the Louder with Crowder?
Yeah.
And then they said that I made up 98 people, and it was nothing to me. But then I saw that Ethan kind of got a little riled up about that, and I was like, yeah, get riled up, because if you don't find that passion inside, where you're willing to speak and you're willing to be mocked, put down, possibly, rejected. If those things stop you from speaking, you will spend a lifetime of silence. You'll spend a lifetime of never living up to all those things. And with each and every one of you, you have a life that can be amazing. You're gonna make mistakes, and you're gonna do things that you'll regret, and people will hurt you along this journey, but you are going to have this power inside of you to decide how you want to live and how you want to represent yourself. Do you have your hand up? Yes.
Well, so these people that were arguing against us were misinterpreting a lot of words and taking things out of context and skewing words. They're trying to fight for something to stop bullying, but isn't that kind of bullying if you're misinterpreting, or skewing someone's words?
Exactly, Ethan. Isn't it bullying when the president of the BCTF, the BC Teachers Federation, goes on air on global TV and calls Barry Neufeld a bigot? Is that name calling?
Yeah.
How is that okay? This is all through society are these people who claim one thing, but really it's hypocritical to the worst and nth degree. And I'm just so proud of you, Ethan. I think you're amazing. Your mom is a really strong person, so I know that your family's strong, But when you have that kind of strength, and then Angelina showed up and just boom, and that video is doing super well on Facebook, and you were just willing to stand, even no matter what anybody said. That is strength. It is such a weak position to go through life and to let everybody else dictate what they think. All the stronger people who like to, and so often some of those stronger people are actually not necessarily right or educated. Jordan Peterson, Ben Shapiro, these are the great minds of our time. And I just want to offer any one of you that if you ever want to do, I'm really looking for a bunch of kids who we could just sit and kind of do an interview and be on camera and just talk about what it's like to be a teenager in this day and age. I'd love to hear your experience, what it's like to go to school with all of the things that are happening. I'd love to hear what your experience is, how hard it is to stand up, what it takes to be a stand-up person. I'd love to talk about that. And that would be the kind of video that would go very, very big in this day and age. Because what we hear is that everyone's afraid to speak, everyone's afraid to talk. And so it's become a very, an interesting Canadian story that we have right now about all the silence. So I honor you guys. I'm really excited. How often do you do this? Come here.
First night.
It's our first time?
First
Okay.
time.
Okay. And who are you guys?
For those of you who haven't met, I'm Sam Vankovich, and I'm first year university student at Trinity Western. I just graduated last year from Langley Fundamental. I played rubber bateman and basketball. It's good times.
Oh, okay.
I'm Luke Fulton. I'm grade 12. I go to Pacific Academy.
Oh, you do?
I'm Judy's nephew.
Okay. All right. My kids went to PA.
Did you want to go around?
Yeah. Should